Hello YouTube family, welcome to Peggy Joe's Kitchen and welcome to my channel. Today we will be cooking fried catfish fillets, smothered potatoes, and sweet corn. And we'll come right back and show you how we prepare our potatoes, and then we'll move on to the corn and the catfish later on in the video. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay, so I have my potatoes all peeled. We're going to put them on the cutting board. I let them soak in the water to get some of the starch out of them. And we'll take a paper towel and blot them dry. And we're going to cut these potatoes in slices. And then after we do that, we'll proceed to cut the onions in slices as well. So you want to cut them like that. Make sure you have a really good sharp knife. And then whenever you cut them, you want to go ahead and put them back in the bowl. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little water to it because we can get a little bit more of the starch out by doing that. By putting the potatoes back into the water. I'm going to go ahead and cut this potato up, and then I'll go off camera and get the rest of them cut up. Okay, let's go ahead and put these in the water. Okay, I'll come back as soon as I have the potatoes cut up, and then I'll go ahead and cut the onions. Okay guys, I have the potatoes all cut up. And we'll go ahead and get our onions sliced up. And I'm using a medium-sized onion, and then I had a small onion that was already peeled, and I want to go ahead and use it. So we'll get that sliced up. Okay. I'm going to make it a little easy. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half and then slice it. That way it'll lay flat. I like quite a bit of onion in my potatoes. Okay, let's get this other piece cut. Alright, so now we have our onions and our potatoes cut. And we'll transfer everything over to the stove and get the potatoes and the onion going to make our smothered potatoes. We'll come right back. Okay, so I have my skillet heating up. I'm going to put a little bit of bacon grease in the skillet. And that'll kind of give the potatoes a smoky flavor. Let's get it good heated up. We're going to go ahead and turn it off. It's a little hot. Okay, so while the skillet is heating up, I'll tell you the ingredients that we're going to be putting into the potatoes. We're going to use ground black pepper. I use coarse ground black pepper. And we're going to put some seasoning salt and garlic powder, and of course our sliced onions. Let's go ahead and get everything open and ready. So what we'll do, we'll put a layer of potatoes in. And then we'll season each layer. Okay, so we'll put some black pepper, a little seasoning salt, and some garlic powder. And then we'll put a layer of onion down in our potatoes, in our skillet. And we'll just repeat the process. Another layer of potatoes, black pepper, seasoning salt, and I think I'm going to put a little regular salt in there also. And some garlic powder. And then another layer of onion. And then the remaining portion of our potatoes. So when you do it that way, every layer will be seasoned. And to help the smothering process go a little bit easier, I'll be adding some chicken broth to my skillet. Okay, let's get a spoon or spatula and turn it. Put the rest of the onion in there. Get it good stirred up here. And once you get everything mixed up, you want to put the top on it. And kind of letting some of the potatoes at the bottom brown a little bit first though. Okay, we'll leave it alone and let it brown some. And while that's browning, I'll get the broth. I thought I had some chicken broth in the refrigerator, but I have some beef broth. That'll work just fine. I'd rather use that than water. So I want to keep the flavors going. We want to kind of brown them just a little bit before we add our broth. So right now I'm cooking it on a high heat. Okay, and so now I'm going to show you our catfish. I've already washed the catfish. We're going to season it, and we're going to fry the catfish in fish fry and regular cornmeal. So that's the batter that I'm going to use. I'm not going to really make a wet batter. I'm just going to dust the fish with the fish batter. Okay, so let's put our fish on the cutting board. I'm going to get those patted dry, and then we'll season them. All right, let's go ahead and turn the skillet down. And they're starting to really cook. See, some of the potatoes are starting to get a brown color. And you want that to happen. So I turn it down to like a medium. And we'll let it cook a little bit longer before we turn it again. Okay, so we're going to take the fish off of the paper towel and put it onto our board. There's a piece of the onion in there. And we're going to get it seasoned. We'll be putting some lemon pepper on it. Just lightly. Some seasoning salt. We don't want it too salty. A little onion powder. Some garlic powder. And some black pepper. And let's keep an eye on these potatoes. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and put some broth in it. Okay, and then we'll stir it up just a little bit and get the broth on all of those potatoes. All right, now we'll go ahead and cover it up. And this is the smothering process. All right, so let's turn our fish over and season our fish onto the other side. And we're going to season it the same way with the lemon pepper, the seasoning salt, onion powder, and a little garlic powder. And some black pepper. Okay. I'm going to put it back into this pan. and let them rest for a little bit with the seasoning on them. And we'll come back later on in the video and show you how we're going to fry our fish. So I'm going to go ahead and get cleaned up, and you guys stick around. Okay, so I have my cornmeal in the bag already, and I'm gonna use this fish fry. It came from the Breakfast Club in Houston, and it's a pretty good fish fry. So we're gonna mix that along with the regular cornmeal. And then I want to shake it all together. Get the cornmeal and the fish fry mixed up together. The cornmeal is going to give it that really nice crunch. And the fish fry will add the flavor to it. All right, let's take a look and see how our potatoes are coming along. Oh yeah. The onions are kind of caramelizing, and the potatoes are still getting that little brown color to them. Okay, probably need to add a little bit more liquid to the mix here. You don't want it to dry out. You want to have enough liquid in there to smother the potatoes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn this down to like a medium low. And we're going to get this other pot ready for our sweet corn. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. Put that pot on high. And I'm going to use a frozen corn. It's a Pick Sweet Farms cut corn. So down into the pot, we're going to put some salted butter. Let's go ahead and let the pot get a little heated up first. And get this corn opened up. All right, let's go ahead and put us some butter. I'm going to put about 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter down into the pot. And let that get heated up. And while that's heating up, we'll check our potatoes again. Let's keep an eye on these potatoes, because we'll have to add some liquid to it every so often, just to keep them smothered. Let's add a little bit more. And I think this probably should work for the rest of the cooking. Yeah. Okay, let's turn that butter down. It's starting to heat up. We'll go ahead and pour our corn into the pot. And stir it up and make sure that the butter is coated on all of the kernels. We'll go in with a little black pepper and some pink Himalayan salt. Okay. Let's get it stirred up. All right, and then we'll add some broth to the corn. And we're going to just kind of steam the corn. We're not going to boil it. All right, and then we'll add some butter. I'm sorry, sugar. Let's put a few shakes of sugar down in there. Give that corn a good sweet taste. Let's get it stirred up. See down, I have just a little bit of liquid down in there. And now we'll cover that. And let's go in again and check the potatoes. Potatoes are really cooking. And now they're starting to break up. And that's what you want when you're doing smothered potatoes. They don't have to be whole sliced. It's okay if they break up. They're not quite done, but I'm going to go ahead and get a little fork and taste it to see if I have enough seasoning. Yeah, it's perfect. All right, we'll put the last little bit of broth in there. And then we'll turn the potatoes way down. And then we will add some butter. And that's going to make the potatoes get a really good creamy taste. All right, let's go ahead and stir that butter in. And just kind of break the potatoes up as you stir them. Now, if you have an electric stove like I do, now's the time you can just go ahead and turn that burner off. And just let them sit there on that burner. And they will soften up and they'll be just right. If you have a gas stove, you want to go ahead and cook them all the way. All right, so we'll come back and I'll show you the fish fry process. Hi guys. While the oil is heating up to fry the fish, I wanted to take the time to tell you guys to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell so that you won't miss any recipe that's coming out of this kitchen. Stay tuned. I'll be doing the fish in about 5 minutes. Okay, so I think the cooking oil should be hot enough. So I'm going to put the fish into my batter and give it a good shake. All right, let's go ahead and put that fish in there. And that oil is really good and clean. So the fish is going to come out tasting fantastic. Go ahead and rinse my hands. All right. And I'm going to fry the fish with the top on the deep fryer. It's going to make it cook a little bit faster and it'll come out good and crispy. I know a lot of people think if you cover the deep fryer while it's frying that it'll keep the fish or the chicken from crisping up. But it's somehow in the deep fryer, when you do it like that, it comes out, it cooks a little bit faster and it comes out really crunchy. So just a little fun fact, just to let you guys know, it's okay to go ahead and cover it. So we're going to let it fry for about 10 minutes because the fillets are not really big. So we'll let it fry for a little bit, we'll check it, and I'll let you know the exact frying time when they're done. Okay, so I think the fish is probably done now. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the rack. Let's move the deep fryer back some. starting to float. One more piece. Beautiful fish. We'll let it sit here for a minute because it's way too hot to eat right now. Let it cool off a little bit. I'll come back and plate it up and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it plated up. Everything is good and hot. We have our smothered potatoes, our sweet corn, and fried fish. Right. So let's put some potatoes on the plate. My husband is waiting patiently. And some corn. And a piece of fish. Better give him a bigger piece. And there you have it. We can put some ketchup on the side, hot sauce, and tartar sauce. And this is what it looks like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a recipe that's coming out of my kitchen. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.